Yo, 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 what's going on, everyone? Hope everyone is having a great Saturday so far. And as you can see, tonight I'm watching Halloween 5, one of my best, most favoritist Halloween movies of all time. Not even that, this is one of my favorite movies of all time. So, I really do like Halloween 5. I'll probably start the movie in about 1 or 2 more minutes. Yeah, man, Halloween 5 is one of my favorite movies of all time, man. And, I just wish a lot more people will appreciate this movie. I just feel like if you love Halloween 4, then you automatically should love Halloween 5. But yeah, let me go ahead and start this movie up. I'm going to just hit play and, if you want to watch along, just do the same thing. And I try to watch this movie at least one time a year, but I said, why not watch it again? I just watched it on Halloween, so I was like, no, I'm in the mood. But I will say that Scream 1996 came in second place, which I was surprised at. I didn't know that many people like Scream. But maybe one day I'll watch Scream. That's one of my favorite movies of all time as well. Ellie Cornell. We need to find a way to get her back in the franchise. What's going on, Myers Fan 25? Appreciate all the love. And what's up with all the hate with Tina? Why people hate Tina so much? I mean, I, I never understood that. I feel like Tina is technically the same character Annie was in the 1978 film. I mean, both of them were aggravating or whatever. So I just feel like people should give Annie in 1978 the same displeasure as Tina in Halloween 5. But I just feel like a lot of people want to find stuff to nitpick with Halloween 5. And I love this intro with them carving this pumpkin. I love the music, man. Halloween 4 and 5 like solidifies the holiday of Halloween in my opinion. Like Halloween hasn't started until you popped in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. I don't care what anyone says. Anybody else feel that way? Yeah, hopefully we can get Ellie Cornell and Danielle Harris back in this franchise. Fingers crossed on that. I know a lot of people don't want to see that, but me personally, I definitely want to see it, especially after seeing this Blumhouse trilogy. But yeah, right now they're showing the rehash of Halloween 4. Michael Myers just standing there getting ran over. Yeah, Halloween 4, Halloween 5 are definitely a much watch every single Halloween. That's why I love those movies so much. Like growing up on AMC Fear Fest, it just like I fell in love with it. And like, my backstory with Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 is, kind of weird because I never seen Halloween 4. I was like in 7th grade and I never seen Halloween 4 and I was flipping through the channel and it was around October 20th or something like that. And it was on AMC Fear Fest, right? So I caught the tail end of Halloween 4 and it was this very scene right here when he got blown up in the mine shaft. So I was like, is this a real Halloween movie? Because it wasn't the same mask as 1978 or 1981. And I was a little bit confused. I was like, is this really a movie or they trolling or whatever? So the next movie that came on AMC Fear Fest was Halloween 5. And when I seen Halloween 5, I was like, wow. I was blown away. I was like, I love this movie. And right here, when Michael is escaping from the mine shaft and the dynamite's rolling into the river, I love that. Because Michael, he got into the river so smooth and it just carried him. I like that. But one thing I will say, though, they could have did a better job with that life jacket poking out of that mechanic suit. I will say that. Yeah, so right now, Michael, he's in the water and he's about to go inside this hermit shack. And I don't have a problem with this mask. I actually like this mask. I would probably say I like this more than I do Halloween 4 as far as the mask. I didn't see a problem with it. At least this mask, he doesn't look like he's smiling all the time. Halloween 4 mask, I mean, it just looks like he's smiling. Yeah, I agree. Halloween 4, 5, and 6 has the best creepy atmosphere. I definitely agree with that. Yeah, yeah, Halloween 5 mask is definitely better. And you know, with this hermit guy, you know, it's almost like a Corey and Michael situation because it took a whole year for Michael to gain his strength back, so he was taking care of Michael. So that was more or less like a Corey situation in a way. But as far as the hermit, the only problem I have with that situation, like that hermit didn't hear all that um, dynamite and bombs blowing up or whatever. He didn't even, it didn't even phase him. He's just sitting there eating his soup and whatever. Like, he didn't find that weird. I feel like he was up to something anyway. But they should have kept that Dr. Death scene. That would have made better sense because as far as like the cult situation, they should have just kept that in. Then you have Danielle Harris. I feel like she did a better job in this movie than Halloween 4. And people always talk about she couldn't really act in Halloween 5. But to me, that was her best performance. I mean, just from her gestures and how she had to move and how she had to talk or whatever, that takes real acting skills. Yeah, I heard a lot of people say that when Jamie Lloyd had touched Michael's hand at the end of Halloween 4 that she transferred a little bit of good into him. And I guess I could see that, but I don't know. And we get to see that later on in this movie because when Michael has that tear coming down, I guess that could be a sign of good and regret. But after she tried to wipe that tear away, we see Michael go ham like never before, and I love that part. And there goes that Thorn tattoo. And I love how it's Halloween, it's raining, and Michael is rejuvenated. And that's all a part of the cult. People are talking about why did he wait a year? It's a part of the cult ritual, Halloween or whatever. It's time to do him. And I love how Jamie Lloyd is freaking out right here. That's why I say, man, it's great acting. Yeah, that mask is creepy right there. I don't understand how people don't love this. And they start off with a good kill. He's killing the innocent person. He's killing an innocent person that did good. So that's one thing. Like with Halloween Ends, where they messed up at. Like everyone Corey or Michael killed, they were bad people. So you really didn't even feel no sympathy for them. So right now we already have Michael Myers killing an innocent person that was apparently a good person. So that's a plus. And see, with Jamie Lloyd on this stretcher, twitching and doing all that, that's great acting. It's a lot more than acting than just saying lines and dialogue. Yeah, Danielle Harris definitely carried this movie. Yeah, Donald Pleasance did too. Donald Pleasance just came out of nowhere. No, how can anyone rank this movie last with Donald Pleasance in it? That always blows my mind. It was really gonna cut her throat open. She has something to tell us. See, Michael at this point made Loomis a lunatic, man. And it's almost like Dr. Loomis, he loved this. Like, he loved playing that cat and mouse. He loved going after Michael. And I feel like Michael corrupted Dr. Loomis in a way. There go Rachel right there. See, I love this connection that they're showing, everything is okay. And here come Tina. and look how Jamie Lloyd lights up when she sees Tina and Max. Like, she loved Tina. And Tina was a good person. She actually sacrificed herself to keep Jamie Lloyd alive. And I just feel like people forget that. She's so happy to see Tina. Yeah, I don't feel like people. I mean, people say that Jamie Lloyd was a mute in this movie, but not really. I don't feel like it. And I like how everybody is having fun, and then Dr. Loomis just bust in the room. And he was like, "What's going on in here?" And even the dog got quiet. Dr. Loomis' presence just had that energy to him. Like, man, this is some real stuff going on. So I'm here to protect this girl. Y'all need to stop having fun. But yeah, I love that how the dog even he put his head down. And then you got a little jump scare with the brick coming through the window. The evil child must die. See, Dr. Loomis already know he coming, so it's just a matter of when. And I actually believe like Michael Myers was scared of Dr. Loomis. Like that's why he really didn't want to, try to avoid him and do all that. But at the same time, I feel like Michael Myers had a certain respect for Dr. Loomis. What's going on, Jay Gregory? Yeah, Tom Horror. That would be interesting if they expanded, on the idea of everyone going after Jamie. So Max already know that Michael right there, Michael behind the bush. I like that type of stalking because that's the same type of stalking that he was doing in the 1978 film. And I love the house of Rachel Carruthers. When I like I keep saying this, like when I think of homes like this and in Halloween 4 and Halloween 6, like it really reminds me of this, fictional town of Haddonfield. And I know a lot of people complain about, Salt Lake City having these mountains or whatever. But really, when you go towards Ohio, like I've been to Ohio several times and I've been through West Virginia and going up towards that way, and it's nothing but mountains up there. And really, in Illinois, it is a couple of mountains and, in certain areas up there. So I don't understand why people say, oh, yeah, you see that mountain, even though there's no mountains up in that area. Well, technically, it is. It might not be that many, but, you got to remember, Haddonfield is this small rural town. So like I said, people just like to nitpick at stuff. Oh yeah, here's Johnny said instead of stabbing the mother at the end of Halloween 4, it should have been Rachel. Yeah, that would have been very intense. Very intense. But would you have Rachel live and survive that, or would you have her dead? See, man, that's a good. That would have been a good idea. Like if I was at the drawing table, I might have would have went with that. And then you got Rachel getting on the bed like straight out the shower, all wet on the covers and stuff. That's one of my pet peeves. Like one of my pet peeves, something I really do hate. Like you get out the shower, you put on fresh socks or whatever, and you step on a damp spot in the floor, and now your sock wet. That pissed me off every time. Okay, so now the door is open, and Michael is actually in the house. He's just stalking her. And right now, I just think he's having fun and he's just scoping out everything. And I don't understand, like, people have a problem, with him in the house and not really killing her right away. But look how long, like, Michael was stalking Lori in the original before he did anything. Behind the bushes, by the clothesline. Like, he literally could have been in Lori's house when he was, in the clotheslines looking at her. Like, he could have been stalking her the whole time in the house, but just waited till nighttime to actually get her. But when Rachel runs outside with that towel on and, that man grabs her, he was looking like, oh, yeah, what you want? Yeah, yeah, cult classic Cage. Michael, he's a stalker. Like it's just natural. It's like the wind blowing. Like it's natural. And every like throughout this whole entire movie, Dr. Loomis' attitude was so aggressive that people didn't really want to help him. Like Jamie didn't want to help him, Rachel didn't want to help him, Tina didn't want to help him. Because he was just so aggressive or whatever. And I like that Jamie Lloyd actually broke down at the end when Michael was coming after her. And he was like, what do you want me to do? And really, it just seemed like Jamie Lloyd is in denial at this point. And it's crazy because he's a psychiatrist and he's just acting so crazy. Like, you would think you'll know a better way to get to this girl and get information out of her than screaming at her and all in her ear and stuff. And see, Michael, he's in the closet right now looking at her. And Rachel, man, she got to have better awareness than that. Like, you got to be able to sense that somebody looking at you. And seeing that white mask in the closet like that, it is scary. Like, it's creepy, man. Michael is creepy in this movie. Yeah, that's one of my favorite parts, Jay Gregory. Like, when she felt defeated and she just gave up, she was just like, "What do you want me to do?" I will say though, this was a weak kill. Like when Rachel got killed with the scissors and stabbed in the chest, like they could have did something better than that. Like even though I know that they wanted to shove the scissors down her mouth, and she didn't really want that. But I thought that was a nice touch. Like she picked up the picture, and it had Jamie, yeah, yeah, I like that. I don't like the kill, but I like the situation, like how she seen the picture of the busted up Jamie Lloyd. Then you got Sheriff Meeker. Shout out to Sheriff Meeker. And Sheriff Meeker, he's in denial right now. Like he's like, you want me to call off everyone because a little girl shake? And I like how Dr. Loomis is showing him, hey man, this go back 12 years, and here go one of the best lines ever. I knew that hell wouldn't have him, and he's showing him his burnt arm and stuff. And when the police officer came in, Dr. Loomis heard him and tried to hide it. I thought that was a good touch. And see, Michael, he's just chilling at the house. He's really just chilling to see if, I guess, um, see if Jamie will eventually show up. So I think he was just chilling out. And Rachel, not Rachel, but Tina, she lacks awareness too. I guess everyone in horror movies lack awareness. And Tina is dressed up like the typical 80s girl, like like and that's always creepy in horror movies when they had a record player just playing, and that's the only thing. And speaking of that, they did that in the Strangers movie in 2008. And speaking of The Strangers, I heard they got a trilogy coming out, and I'm excited about that. So, actually, I think they filmed the first the first part of this trilogy. So, I'm definitely looking forward to that because I love The Strangers. The first one in particular. The second one, it was okay, but it was, I don't know, it was kind of all over the place. And if y'all in here, man, show that love, man. Hit the like button. Y'all let me know, man. Where would y'all rank Halloween 5 in y'all Halloween ranking? As y'all know, I put out my Halloween ranking video and I ranked at number 3. And see, when Tina is leaving with the other girl, like she's gonna turn back and look at the house, right? And I think she actually seen Michael, but she was like, you know, I didn't see him, but I did, and it was almost like she knew something wasn't adding up. You know, like how you see a ghost or whatever, and you just be like, dang, I just seen a ghost, but I'm gonna just keep it to myself. I feel like Tina did. Like, in deep down in her mind, she knew that was Michael in that house. Now, I will say in this part when Michael is in the park, it was kind of weird. Like he was just randomly in the park, and I will say that was kind of weird. I feel like Tamara, she had a final girl look to her. She actually could have been Danielle's sister in this movie. Cause they look alike in a way. But yeah, see Michael just standing there, and that was kind of, I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of weird. Michael, he's just looking like a gardener. And here come Tina's jackass boyfriend. I wonder how old Tina was in this. Like, maybe 22 ish. Well, I take that back. No, because yeah, how old was Rachel and Tina supposed to be in this movie? And then Jamie Lloyd actually sees Michael. And she's freaking out. She's running. This was a good little suspense scene, build up some tension. And then they had the music playing, the camera. Man, I love this, man. They did a great job. Yeah, Dominique Gerard, or however you say his name, I loved his vision for this movie. I love how he brought that gothic style to it, and it, it's intense. Put it that way. The camera work, and for whatever reason, man, I just feel like they really shook up Danielle Harris in this movie. Like she did such a good job that it looked like they were scaring her for real on set. Yeah, as I said earlier, I love Tina. I feel like she did great, and I feel like if people hate on Tina, then people should hate on Annie from 1978 because she was just as aggravating as Tina. So I just feel like people just need to point out, Annie too. Like Annie was aggravating and had some stupid dialogue as well. Yeah, Dr. Loomis wilding out now. Like Dr. Loomis, leave her alone. Even the doctor, the nurse was scared. The nurse was even scared. Dr. Loomis literally jacking Jamie Lloyd up in the bed, like, tell me, tell me. And that nurse acted like she was about to get backhand the way she said that. Dr. Loomis, leave her alone. Yeah, Dr. Loomis at the point where like the way he's carrying on, it's almost like show me where Michael is because I'm gonna sacrifice myself on purpose just to kill Michael. And there go the bus. Vincent Drug. I love that continuity, man, because we see Vincent Drug Store in Halloween 4, and they show it right here too. And then the man in black getting off the bus. He mean business, all business. Then you got Michael showing, not Michael, but Dr. Loomis showing up at the Myers house. I love this Myers house, especially the inside. I know a lot of people hate this, say it looks nothing like it, but I have no issue with it. And Dominique Gerard said he wanted something, big in the inside with big hallways and ceilings and stuff. So I understand that from a director's and writer standpoint. And the house is creepy as hell. Loomis got that fire on him though. And see, Loomis at this point know Michael is probably in there or he already showed up. Um, But Loomis is not afraid. And Loomis is in his playing ground. And just like the pacing of this movie, I feel like it's going along well. Like, yeah, to be honest, I think they didn't have the vision at the time, and people say they was writing the script as they was filming. But if you think about it, I mean, Michael had the Thorn tattoo, so if people look that up, I mean, hey, that's a cult right there. So right off the bat, they don't tell you right away, but that is a cult. And then the Man in Black got cult, so I feel like it's a complete story if people just pay attention. It's just that when Halloween 6 came along, they were basically like, hey, how are we going to explain this cult? So I feel like it was a vision there, but it was just what direction we're going to go with it. Like how deep are we gonna go into this Coat of Thorn situation? And as you know, Halloween 6 went real deep into it. But I feel like that's the most logical thing to explain on why Michael kills is the Coat of Thorn. I feel like that's the only way you can go. Because if you just, do the family storyline, you can have a couple of good movies out of that, of course. But once he kill all his family members, then what? So if you got the Coat of Thorn and then you got Halloween, paganism, and all that involved, then it'll never stop. So, and with the Coat of Thorn giving Michael his powers and stuff like that, I felt like that was a good little thing to do. Yeah, I had to put Rachel in the thumbnail. Yeah, Dave McCray definitely not a fan of Halloween 5. And I feel like a lot of people feel the need to, copy him and, bash Halloween 5 as well. So I feel like he he's been the cult leader of getting people to bash Halloween 5 because I feel like a lot of people are, trying to be like him. So I feel like that's where the majority of the Halloween 5 hate came from, Dave McCray. Because when I was on YouTube back in the day, like watching videos like in 2010, 11, nobody wasn't hating on Halloween 5. It wasn't until this new click came, and then that's when the internet said, hey, let's make it cool to bash Halloween 5. Like I said, I just don't understand how anyone could rank Halloween 5 last. And it has Donald Pleasance, it has Danielle Harris, Ellie Cornell. It has some of the best dialogue from Dr. Loomis. It, has some of the best chase scenes, some great kills, great mood and atmosphere. And speaking of one of the kills, this is one of the best in the franchise right here when Michael like, scrapes the car and, kills this dude right here. So okay, you wanna play? And see, it's all motive. Like Michael did that just to get the car because they all connected to Jamie. Like Michael is smart in this movie, and then he stole the dude mask. Like he's been scoping out everything. That was a great kill. Don Shanks is one of my favorite Michael Myers. For real. And Dr. Loomis patrolling at the costume party. And then you got Billy and Danielle. And see, you could bring Billy back. You can bring that character back. Man, this movie going along fast. I love all these Halloween decorations too. See, that's what I love, and it looks natural. It looks very, very natural. And they having a Halloween costume party. And that's exactly what this new Halloween trilogy lacked: mood and atmosphere. And the man in black is watching Michael driving and like stalking the house, so he's just making sure Michael is going through with the situation. And look at it this way: if Michael gets into a bond just like he got locked up, you know, that's why the man in black are there, to bail him out in them situations like that. I don't hate the man in black, so. And for all we know, we don't even know if that's Dr. Wynn or not. But it was creepy in Halloween 6. Like they had all those druids and stuff like that. Like, they went deep into it, and I I just don't understand why people don't love that. It's different. It has a lot of layers, and it's almost like three horror movies in one. And what I don't understand how people like George P. Wilbur portrayal of Michael Myers. Like he didn't do a very good job, in my opinion. And then you have Jamie Lloyd freaking out at the costume party. She knows Rachel in trouble. Boy, look at them eyes through that mask. And see, just like when she left the house and looked back and she actually seen a apparition. Well, technically it was Michael, but she kept on going like she didn't see nothing. Like whenever she kissed Michael right there, she knew something wasn't right. And I love how they did the cut scene right there, the transition. Michael burnt out, and then you had Jamie acting up. Yeah, Tom Horror. I don't know. That might be a little too much. I don't think they was thinking about all that. Yeah, that might be a little bit overthinking. Cookie woman. But hopefully soon I'm gonna have to me and Resident of Collinwood supposed to be doing a Halloween 5 discussion soon. So once we figure out a date and time, we're gonna talk about Halloween 5, and then the Myers fan 25. Me and him supposed to be doing a Halloween ends commentary, and that will be my last time watching that. So definitely be on the lookout for those, and I'm looking forward to it. Not the Halloween ends thing, of course, but I'm always down to talk, the original Halloween movies. Big woman, cookie woman, uh, and giant cookies. Dale's gas station. Oh boy, that was funny. Yeah, if you like different stuff, I feel like people love Halloween ends, like that wanted something different. But at the same time, a lot of people saying they wanted something different. But when Halloween 6 gave you something different, it was too different. So um, it's almost like you know picking and choosing. See, this was an emotional part. Like Tina came up and then seen Danielle, and all that emotion was going on. Like Jamie really saved her, and she actually said Tina's name, and just that that connection right there. That whole build up, like with Danielle overcoming her fears, and with her, actually saving Tina, and it being a relief with her actually seeing Tina still alive. Like that was a good little moment. And Tina's, consoling her and everything like that. Like, Tina, she was a good girl, even though she probably shouldn't have left her alone. But what are you gonna do at that point? Yeah, she's crying. Yeah, Tina should have took one for the team right there. But she's having regret because you see how she ran down the steps, like she's already looking like real sad, and she really don't want to leave him. And then her and Dr. Loomis having this exchange, but Dr. Loomis know he can't control Tina, so he's like, damn. Yeah, that police officer definitely been looking at that Cookie Woman poster. How was this movie anti Rachel? I felt the need, like whenever they was writing this movie and they wanted to do that little shock factor of killing Rachel off, I just felt like long as they had Danielle Harris still alive, Danielle Harris was meant to be like the final girl moving forward. Like she was always gonna be the one that lived. So I feel like characters like Rachel wasn't meant to be a character that was gonna be in the franchise long term. If you get what I'm saying. And Dr. Loomis ripping off masks of little girls and stuff. Like Dr. Loomis didn't care. He was pissed off because Jamie and the other boy just ran off, wandering the streets. You don't even know where she is, but I do. The Tower of Thorn. Yeah, I feel that way too. Like if like a final girl from like Halloween 4, Rachel, gets killed early in the movie, like hey, Michael is really unleashed. Like no one's off limits at this point. Anybody can die. And you got to remember, Michael, he doesn't care. He's ruthless at this point. He's going after a little girl and he's literally trying to kill her. And it's his niece that he's trying to kill. What's going on, resident of Collinwood? Now, I will say, whenever I was watching this on Halloween, this whole farm scene, barn scene, um, it lasted a little bit too long, and it had a little couple of jump scares that could have been eliminated. But other than that, now these cops, a lot of people have an issue with the cops and the bubbly music, but me, I don't see a problem with it. Because it's an 80s movie at the end of the day. I mean, I just feel like when people critique these movies, they don't have the same outline with every movie. Like people give, the Friday the 13th movies a pass for every single thing, but not Halloween. One thing, that I think it was an interview that Ellie Cornell did with the Myers Fan 25, and she was stating that she didn't want to get killed with the scissors down her throat, right? And to be honest, if you're gonna die in a horror movie, you will be hoping for the worst way to die so people can remember your death scene. And I always thought that was kind of strange how she wanted to go out a simple way instead of getting the scissors down her throat. And she really wasn't agreeing with that. So I thought that was kind of strange. Yeah, I think a reboot is coming sooner than later. Oh, that's what's up, man. Yeah, hopefully, with these horror cons, hopefully one day I get to run into them, man. But I just feel like, man, paying to take pictures and autographs and stuff, man. I understand it's a business and all that, but some of that stuff be a little too pricey for me, and I'm not that big of a fan, where I have to do that. It's like this. Like with me, if I'm getting an autograph of Nick Castle when he's 70 something years old compared to when he's 30 years old, when he's 30 years old, I feel like that autograph is going to be way more valuable than it is when he's 70. That's like when you have Stone Cold in his prime, right? Like you got Stone Cold Steve Austin in his prime in 1998, 99 or whatever. If you get his autograph and picture back then, that's gonna really mean something compared to if you see him at the grocery store right now. It's gonna be like, oh, Stone Cold, what's up? Compared to you freaking out in the 90s about him. And I just feel like one of the very few people who can hold that weight is like Michael Jordan. Like, if you get an autograph from him, no matter what age or how much time has passed, that's Michael Jordan. That's going to be valuable. But I just feel like, with these people doing horror conventions and everything and signing so much stuff, it's not valuable. Maybe to that person personally, but at the same time, I just feel like, I don't know. It's strange. But I will say this though, like I wouldn't mind meeting Don Shanks and getting his autograph on a Halloween 5 mask. Um, who else? Uh, Danielle Harris. I wouldn't mind meeting her. Getting her autograph and a picture. But like I said, like I don't know, man. I just feel like when I don't want to say this, but it just feel like a whole bunch of has-beens when at these horror conventions. I just get that vibe. And to be honest, like at these horror conventions and stuff like that, if you go to a mainstream hotel where they're staying at or whatever, you can most likely get a pic when they're in the lobby late at night or something like that. Because I'll tell you, like, one day I was going to a WWE event, but like earlier in that day, we went out to get something to eat, and I seen Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. So I actually, asked Bray Wyatt for a picture, and he was more than happy to give it to me. So, you know, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you really don't have to like pay for pictures. You can, and I feel like that's more valuable too. Like, um, you know how like people like order signatures offline like of products. Like say if somebody bought a Danielle Harris Halloween 4 mask, like I feel like it's not gonna be sentimental to you because you didn't actually see her sign it. Even though you know she signed it or whatever, it's just not gonna be as valuable as you like seeing her in person, like at the grocery store or something. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how I feel anyway. And hopefully, like with this 40, what is it? Is it gonna be 50th convention or 45th or whatever? I might fly out to California if they do something big like that. Yeah, show up at the convention, get to see all these Halloween YouTubers. They'll be like, "Oh no, they'll go here everyday horror. We got to get him up out of here." Yeah, see, like, man, this scene's still going on. Like, they could have did. They could have sped this up or cut something out. Robert England, he seems like a very down to earth person. He seems very, very chill. So, what's been a celebrity that y'all met that didn't have a good attitude, and they come off in the media like they're real nice and everything like that, but when you see them in real life, they're the total opposite. Have y'all seen a celebrity like that before? But I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, from what I seen from the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise, I I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. I might give it a watch and give my thoughts on the franchise as a whole, but you know from watching like every movie like 3 years ago, I wasn't a fan. Now, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, that was probably my favorite in the franchise. To be honest, like that was the best movie that I personally seen. I have to go back and watch the original. I really didn't have a problem with that, and I know a lot of people like Nightmare on Elm Street too. But with me, like even from the start of it, I just felt disconnected. Like I didn't know whether it was a direct sequel or what. Like it was confusing, and I definitely didn't like that bus scene in the beginning. It was just so stupid. But I know a lot of people, like Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy versus Jason was pretty good. I will say that it was okay. It was entertaining for me to watch. Like it didn't feel like I was watching a nightmare movie because a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, those movies are kind of hard to get through. Um, so I just feel like it was an okay movie. It was modernized, so you had Kelly Rowland in it, and it was okay. What y'all think about a Michael versus Jason movie? I never was a fan of that. Not only Michael versus Jason, like where in the world did this Michael versus Pinhead situation come from? Like I never understood that. Like people don't even really know who Pinhead is, and Pinhead is definitely not on the same level as Michael Myers. So I'm just trying to figure out how does that even correlate? Like like Pinhead versus Michael, like that makes no sense at all. And see, this is another. This is a great chase scene right here. Michael cut on the lights. He's chasing Tina and the kids. Like this was crazy. Like, like I said, Michael was a madman. He didn't care, man. He didn't care at all. by any means necessary, he was gonna eliminate them one by one. And to be honest, we don't even really know if he killed Tina or not. I mean, let me pay attention. See, Jamie Lloyd actually loved Tina. Like, she was gonna sacrifice herself to save Tina. She technically did for a moment. Boy, Danielle Harris hit that full flat running through them bushes. And then they got the music playing, the Halloween theme playing, Michael riding in his car chasing down the, like, this is intense right here. And then when he hit that tree, the car is on fire. I mean, I love it. Even though I wish Tina would just snatch that cape off. Like, the cape is clearly getting in the way every time she moves. Like, take that cape off so you can run and maneuver better. Yeah, it could be that. Like, he's struggling, he's conflicted. Should I kill Jamie or should I not? Yeah, I seen The Exorcist. It's pretty good. It drags though. It drags. I haven't watched it in a while, but I will say I'd rather watch The Omen than watch The Exorcist though. So there's that. Yeah, in some moments in this movie, Michael really didn't act like he didn't really want to kill Jamie or Dr. Loomis. But this man ran into a tree head on, car on fire, got out. Michael a beast, boy. And he got the knife. I love how he's walking. He almost looked like Dick Warlock right there when he was walking. And look, he's about to kill Jamie, but like I say, he's stalling, and that's some good acting by Danielle Harris. And then Tina comes in, sacrifices herself. Damn, that knife went real deep into her. I don't like how Don Shanks laid her down gently though. Like, he should have just let her drop. But in a way, maybe Michael was, just stabbing her, knowing that she was still gonna be alive, just to keep her there as a decoy, just to get to Jamie, because she knew that Jamie was gonna be around Tina no matter what. So maybe he was just trying to keep her alive for a decoy. Nigga, Dr. Loomis sneaking around. Here come the police. The police really could have ran up on Michael. See, Dr. Loomis knows he's there though, so he's trying to convince the police to go back. And see, they don't got the white cover over Tina, but she got stabbed in the shoulder, and they got her shoulder leaning off the stretcher. Like, come on, talk about negligence. Yeah, we love Halloween 5. Well, I do. I can't speak for everybody else. Then Dr. Loomis about to talk to Michael, talking to him like he's a child. Go home, Michael. And then I love how we see Michael in the distance with the fog and in between the trees. And you know what that reminds me of? Y'all know the Blumhouse intro, the new Blumhouse intro? That's exactly how Michael was in that Blumhouse intro. Just the vibe, like it's Halloween. You have the fog in the air, like the tower form. I mean, that's why I just don't understand how people can rank this movie last. And then that shot of Danielle with the light on, brushing her hair, the way Judith Meyer was, like, people say that Dominique Gerard didn't care about the Halloween franchise and he didn't really see the sequels, but apparently somebody did. I just feel like people love to give him crap for whatever reason. But I like, hey, they were strapped. They were strapped though. Sheriff Meekin was ready this time. They had the SWAT team and everything ready for him. They could have gave Sheriff Meeker a little bit more to do in this movie, I feel. Yeah, H2O would have been a perfect place to end the whole franchise. I feel like that would have been a good ending. That would have satisfied everybody. And Danielle Harris is worrying again. They had a good plan to catch Michael now. They did. And I love how Loomis set it up on purpose. He's at the clinic. And then they all just left. Halloween Ends is definitely not the final movie. See, Dr. Loomis knew what he was doing. And I heard it was a SWAT scene where Don Shanks took out the whole entire SWAT team. I don't understand why they took that out of the movie. You know, like what would be so cool, like if they did a sequel to Halloween 5, which I want to see because I want to see Danielle Harris come back. But how can somebody get over that trauma like that? Like with her experience and all that as a child, she will never ever be able to recover from all of that. So I wouldn't mind seeing her, a grown Jamie Lloyd, and how she acts or whatever. Michael done showed up in a police car. And see, Dr. Loomis love that. Dr. Loomis like, he's here. Michael Myers is outside. Yeah, that's true. Just you know, with the police station, I love that because we didn't actually see what happened, but we get to see the aftermath, and that's just as scary. Michael, Dr. Loomis pulled that gun out. Where he's like, Michael Myers is here. See, man, this is where it starts to get real good. They're back in the Myers house. The police officer trying to do his best to protect Jamie. He's smiling at her while he's trying to block the door. See, just stuff like that, that small comic relief. Like, you don't need, like, funny stuff popping off at the screen like this Blumhouse trilogy was banging on the head with. See, Michael is stalking Dr. Loomis. And really, Michael like, man, damn, why he always here? And see, a lot of people talk about why Michael just holding the knife up to his face like that. Why he's holding the knife. But, as Dave McCrae would like to say, and he's pointing this out too, like, why is Michael holding the knife? But it's about that cinematic language that Dave McCrae talks about. Like, he's holding the knife up, and when Dr. Loomis is talking to him, he's looking and he's slowly lowering the knife, like, is Dr. Loomis actually getting to me? Maybe I shouldn't be doing this. You see, the knife is slowly lowering down. So it's all about that cinematic language. Dr. Loomis is literally face to face with Michael right now, holding that knife. Michael could have killed him, but he he didn't want to kill Loomis for whatever reason. And see, he's lowering the knife and he's almost opening up his fingers like he's gonna give it to him. And Michael's like, nope, I got to do my job. Get back. Shit, Dr. Loomis survived a lot. And see, that's all Dr. Loomis was trying to do. Just trying to protect Jamie Lloyd. And now she understands. This a funny part right here though. When Michael started busting through the door and the police started shooting him, he started, hey, he was hitting him with that hot lead. Michael said, "Oh shit, let me get back. That shit hurt." But then he bust back. He bust back through that door with a vengeance. I love that. See, Michael was ruthless. He was using his hands beating him. See, Don Shanks, he did great at this. See, Meekers, yeah, Sheriff Meekers at the clinic, he killed the doctor. He looked back, and Meeker like, damn, man, he back. Jamie Lord, the Halloween guy. You haven't seen Halloween Ends yet? And this laundry shoot scene, this was very intense as well. Top 10 scene in the franchise. I wish I was old enough back in the day to go to the movies and see this. Yeah, they could have let Danielle come back to some capacity. I felt like she should have been Judy Greer, but in a way, I'm glad she didn't go back and associate with this trash. Next week, I might do a Friday the 13th watch along. I'm not sure which movie I'll do, but with the Friday the 13th franchise, I only really like part one, part two, and part three. Four is okay, and I can tolerate it, but after that, I could care less. I don't even like the remake. Part five is okay, but once I found out it wasn't Jason, I mean, I could care less. What y'all think about the Scream franchise? Do y'all like the direction the Scream franchise going? I definitely don't. I think Scream has ran its course, um, and I just don't understand what they can do from this point on. I know they're trying to bring back Kirby, but she's not enough to hold up the franchise. And Scream, like the first two movies, yeah, it was a who done it, who is the new Ghostface or whatever, but Now it's almost like you're going into the movie instead of focusing on the movie. You're focusing on each character. Oh, this is Ghostface. Let me look at the height and weight and how do. Like, I don't like that. I just want to go into a movie and it genuinely, like, it attracts you. And I feel like Scream 5 definitely didn't do that. Like, you was too focused on who is the next Ghostface, and I feel like Scream need to do it more genuinely. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Stranger Things. I haven't seen Stranger Things. I'm gonna have to, just binge watch it one day. I'm gonna have to sit down one weekend and watch season one, season two. But I feel like I'm too late, to even jump on it. So I'm not even sure if I want to invest my time with that. And this is one of my favorite parts in the Halloween franchise as well. Like, Jamie Lloyd is walking up to the attic, and she's seeing all these candles lit and stuff like that, and she sees a casket with her name on it, a coffin with her name on it, basically. And she sees the dead bodies of everyone, and she's just like, forget it. She's just like, forget it. Like, I'm done. I give up. Let me go ahead and get in the coffin and let them kill me. And I'm like, that's scary for a kid to even think that way. Like, she's seeing all these dead bodies. She see Rachel right there, and she's just like, I'm next. So she just got up in the coffin, and that's some real stuff right there. That's a very intense scene. And then when Michael actually comes up there, dang, yeah, like she, there's some good acting. And then she said, Uncle, Uncle Boogie, man, let me see. I felt like they had a real connection right there. Like, it was a connection going on because she felt a little bit too comfortable talking to him. You look just like me. And then the famous tear coming down, and she tried to wipe it. And this part right here, he put that mask on. Like, I ain't. Have y'all ever seen Michael go this crazy? Like, he's throwing a casket. He's pissed off at this point. I've never seen Michael like that before. Dr. Loomis, Dr. Loomis like, you want her? Here she is. Like, at this point, Danielle don't know what's going on. Like, I really believe Danielle was scared in this movie whenever they were filming it because ain't no way she was this good of an actor. And Dr. Loomis trapped Michael, shoot him with the tranquilizer gun. Loomis was going to town. Damn, I love this movie. He got that 2x4. And right here, Dr. Loomis said, man, I don't care. I'm going to kill him and me. Like, just look at the lengths that Dr. Loomis went to save this little girl. That's because he knew Michael was evil. And Dr. Loomis actually broke down Shank's nose. But, you know, this would have been a good way to end the franchise, too. Just think about this. Like, they could have ended the movie right here. They didn't even have to have a police scene. Like, when Dr. Loomis fell on top of Michael and had that heart attack, right? Like, that could have been the end of the movie. And really, the franchise, in a way. Like, Dr. Loomis looking into Michael Myers' eyes. And Dr. Loomis dying on top of Michael. And Jamie Lloyd just at the house. Like, they could have ended this movie right here and right there, and it would have been great. And then they show Michael in the jail cell looking at the wall, rocking back and forth. I don't have a problem with this. You know why? People are like, why they still got his mask on? Imagine trying to take off Michael Myers' mask after all of that. Do you want to aggravate him even more? So, I mean, I see why they had the mask on. Here come the man in black. Yeah, man, watching this, it just reminds me of why I love Halloween 5 so much. But a man in black messed that police station up, boy. Like, just imagine watching this for the first time and being like, damn, what the hell is going on? And then you got Halloween 6, like, to explain all of it. Like, they set this up very well. And then how creepy is it, like, at the end of the movie? Like, you see Danielle Harris walking through the police station. And then when she go outside, she was like, no, no. Man, that's Halloween. This is why I love watching it on the actual day of Halloween. And then after this, man, you pop in that producer's cut of Halloween 6. I mean, that's just a great way to end your Halloween. Imagine having to clean up and see all that left behind at the police station. You'd be like, what happened? Yep, so that was Halloween 5, and you know, a great movie. A great movie. But yeah, man, I'm getting kind of sleepy. I would do a Q&A, but next week I might do another watch along. And it probably won't be a Halloween movie, so I'm gonna switch it up a little bit. But yeah, I have some Ghost Adventure videos coming. So definitely be on the lookout for that. I've been neglecting Ghost Adventure. I just haven't had the time to watch it. But yeah, man. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this watch along, and hopefully you can see why I love Halloween 5 so much. But yeah, be on the lookout for me and the Myers Fan 25. We got a commentary soon coming with Halloween Ends, and also Jules Sainz. Me and him is gonna do a Halloween 5 discussion, so definitely be on the lookout for that. But yeah, guys, hope y'all enjoyed. Y'all be safe. Peace.